Madam, I am starting. Good morning, all the principals, teachers, students of model schools, and viewers from other institutes. A lot of viewership is there. We are really happy about that. So today, once again, we are going to have a session from Mr. D. Venkata Ramarao Garu, PGT Narsapur. Yesterday, he was discussing about the topic depreciation. Today we'll continue on that and we will discuss about the problem solving session. Yesterday it was very fruitful and I hope all the students received it very well, and you may continue from where you have stopped, sir. I welcome you, D. Venkata Ramarao Garu. Please continue with your session.
Thank you, sir. A
Okay,
very good morning to
it is audible, sir. Continue.
Okay, sir. Yeah, a very good morning to sir. Can you share the screen? Yeah. A very good morning to all the respected principals, sirs.
1 minute. Shalya madam, please give the option of screen sharing to sir.
Sir, enabled.
Okay. Sir, enabled. It is enabled for you.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir. Now I get.
Okay. Go ahead.
Thank you, sir. A very good morning to all the respected principal ma'ams and sirs, and my dear students. Okay. I really need to appreciate all the students who have actively participated yesterday, and I was able to see so many responses coming from you all. That is very wonderful. Like you have been participating very actively, and I have been receiving those answers. And I'm very happy about that. And you are really doing very well. Okay. And now here is my question. Are you ready? Do you have your pen and notebook with you? Okay, then we'll start it. And did anyone miss the topic yesterday? Okay, if some of you haven't heard the topic, or if you didn't watch the topic, you can still catch up with me. Why? Because I'm just going to review all the points again, briefly, and you can catch up. It's not that difficult. Okay, am I clear? Okay, but you today will be focusing more on the accounting aspects, and you really need to work on your both when I'm explaining them. Okay, so this is how we will be going today. We will see whatever the things we have learned. We will review the concepts once, and then we'll start doing the problems while solving the problems in accounting. Okay, so while solving the problem, I will explain you how you have to handle it, and later on we will have the problems which you can do. Okay, you will do from the textbook problems. Okay, so which you can do. This is how we'll be going, and I want each and everyone to participate very actively. Okay, when I pose the questions and all. So here we go. What we have learned so far. So yesterday we have learned about meaning and definition, need and significance, causes, methods. Here is the first question I'm going to ask. You have to actively participate. I mean it. Okay. What is the meaning of depreciation? Okay. Someone is answering it, and ensure that all of you are typing on chat box. Okay, so that I can see that you people are actively participating. So I get many answers. Depreciation is gradual decrease in the value of the asset. So we are very clear about that. Okay, and we have seen what are the terms related to depreciation. So depreciation is related to fixed assets, whereas the other assets like natural resources, that is our intangible. Natural resources. They will be depreciated or deteriorated based, and the word which we use for it is depletion. Okay, if there is any deterioration in your goodwill, what is that you call? Can you tell me? Can anyone tell me what do you call that in relation to depreciation? Okay. Okay. Amortization. Okay. Now we know that related terms. And then we talked about significance. Can anyone tell me what is the importance of depreciation? Why do we need depreciation? I want the answers. Can you give me quick answers? Yes. In order to calculate our true profit, in order to show the financial position, true and fair financial position. Okay. So if you want to replace your asset in future, for that you need depreciation. Okay. And we have got the other causes. What is the law? I was telling this is very obligatory. Who says that? Okay. Calculation of depreciation is compulsory. Who says that? Government. So legally also we require depreciation. So this is the importance of depreciation. Now comes our favorite question. What are the causes of depreciation? Yesterday I was mentioning that it may come for 5 marks or 2 marks. If it is 2 marks, he may simply ask you write any 2 reasons for depreciation. Okay. Now I'm asking you the question, and you people have to tell me what are the causes of depreciation. Okay. People are typing it, very nice. First thing is wear and tear. So we know it is related to usage. Okay. And if there are any accidents, if there is obsolescence. Okay, what do you mean by obsolescence? Simple meaning. What do you mean by obsolescence? Type the answer. Don't forget about it. That is very important. So what do I mean by it? That means whatever the machine or whatever the fixed assets I have, they are outdated. That means technologically they are weak. New things have come because of innovation, right? So that results in obsolescence, and there will be decrease in the value of the asset. We were talking about phone asset. Okay. Okay. We have got so many answers. Nice. And we'll be talking about depreciation methods. Okay. Yesterday we have talked about depreciation methods, and what are they? We have got so many different methods, right? We have got straight line method, diminishing balance method, our favorite one, where you have to focus a bit, right? Yeah, I know. Yesterday some students have given the answers related to ask me a question, or they have asked me to repeat the concept of diminishing balance method in your comments. Okay, I will definitely do that, and I will show you how you will be calculating depreciation and all in using diminishing balance method. So you don't have to worry about that. We will repeat it again. Okay. And so methods of depreciation we know, and at inter level I told you very clearly that we'll be focusing only on the 2 methods. What are they? Straight line method. What do you straight line method and diminishing balance method. Other methods like this, your annuity, your sinking fund, they are all conceptual. Okay, fine. And then we talked about the basic calculations. What are the basic calculations which we have done? This is beyond our accounting. We have done some calculations, right? This is related to what? It is related to your annual depreciation and your rate of depreciation. Why are we trying to learn about this? Can anyone say it? Yes. In your problem solving, you will be given either depreciation or percentage of depreciation. Okay. Depreciation normally will be given in straight line method. Why? Because in diminishing balance method you cannot have a fixed depreciation, right? So you have to have rate of depreciation. Now I'm making it very clear again. Okay, when I'm talking about straight line method, your depreciation given in the question can be percentage or just depreciation, annual depreciation. But in case of diminishing balance method, whatever the problems that are given, they will definitely have the percentage. Okay, for that reason we learned about that. And how do I calculate annual depreciation? Simple, very simple, right? These are all very simple. Cost of the asset which I have purchased, and from that, if I'm getting any salvage value, that is the scrap value, I'm deducting that, and I'm dividing it by the life of the asset. Okay, if there is no salvage value, this becomes much easier. What is it? It is cost of the asset divided by the estimated life. Simple. Okay, that is how we are going to get your annual depreciation, right? Next, percentage. So when you have the annual depreciation, if you are dividing it by the cost of the asset, and if you are expressing it in terms of percentage, 100, we call it as percentage. Okay, that is what is called as the rate of depreciation. These calculations we have seen yesterday, and I told you that we need to focus on certain points when we are going for problem solving. Okay, so these things I'll be repeating, these points, this point, especially the points to remember in problem solving, I'll be repeating very frequently when you're solving the problems. But right now we'll have a quick recap. We need to know what is the date of purchase of the asset, we need to the sale price, we need to the time in which it is installed, all those things. Okay, I'll move on, we'll come back to this point again and again. So straight line method, most of you are very clear, you have understood very nicely this thing, and it's very simple. Okay, so what is that we are talking about in straight line method? We are saying that the depreciation is charged the same annually. Okay, so that comes under the concept of straight depreciation under straight line method. Am I clear? Annually, every year, I'll be charging depreciation the same amount, unless and until the date is changed. I don't want to confuse you again. I'm repeating. Straight line method, depreciation amount will be the same all throughout the year. That means every year I'll be charging the same amount. I'm clear. Okay. Here comes our diminishing balance method. Just try to catch it up. Okay, those people who have asked me yesterday to repeat this, I'm repeating for your purpose. Okay, so all of you need to focus on this. What is diminishing balance method? Anyone? Okay, what is the other name for it? We know it is called as written down value method. And what else? Reducing balance method. It is very clear, right? Okay, now we'll see what is the meaning of diminishing balance method once again. And this working, if you are still not clear, for those people who have asked, I know most of you have understood, I know you are very clear about this concept. For those people who are lagging behind, okay, so I'm telling you, diminishing balance method, you will calculate your, in the first year you will calculate your depreciation, and in the subsequent years in the sense, in the second year, third year, that is the life of, through the life of the asset. Okay, what you will be doing, first year I'll be calculating depreciation on the cost of the asset. Fine. In the second year, what I will do, I will calculate again depreciation on the cost of the asset, but now the cost of asset will not be the same. That means if I have purchased a mobile for 10,000 rupees, okay, and in the first year, what will be the depreciation if the rate is 10%? It will be 1,000 rupees. 10,000 into 10 by 100. Okay. So 1,000 rupees will be depreciation. I will be deducting from 10,000, 1,000 rupees. And in the second year, what will be the balance of my mobile? That means the value of mobile I have. Okay. It is 9,000 rupees. On 9,000, I will calculate depreciation. So every year it changes. You have to understand that point. Okay, we'll come across it again when we are solving the problem. And I'm sure that you people are doing it very well, and you are responding very nicely. You are answering. So this becomes very easy then by the end of the session. And we are going to conclude problem solving in this session, and you people will be doing it at home. Okay, you have got textbook, or you work on them, you will find so many. If you have the textbooks, you can work on them. They are very easy. They are not that difficult. Empty slide, but has got a lot of information which we have to recollect. Okay. So what is that we have to recollect? In first year, what was happening? What did we learn? We learned about accounting cycle, accounting process. So what is that? It is all about. We have been recording the transactions till what is the last stage? We are preparing financial statements. That means you are journalizing your transactions, you are posting them into ledger, and then you are preparing a trial balance to check the arithmetical accuracy, and finally you are preparing your financial statements. Don't say that you don't remember it. It is very much like the whole part of our syllabus which we have learned in first year is all about this. I'm just trying to make you recollect things. Okay, now focus on what I'm saying. When I'm saying journalizing the transactions, what is that we are doing? We are writing the transactions in an entry form into the book called as journal. Okay, and we all know what is a journal. It is the book in which you record your day-to-day transactions. Not just like that. You have to follow the double entry system of bookkeeping. That means you have got certain principles which you have to follow in recording those transactions in your journal. Okay, so now do you remember all those things? Did you recollect? Okay, and I'm telling you again, like all the students, whatever the three principles which you have learned for writing the transactions in an entry form and then posting them into account, okay, all those three principles will be there throughout to any level of your studies as far as accounting goes. So you must compulsorily remember that. Okay, so I said in journalizing we have to follow the principles of what? Account. And you know what is an account? And it shows, like, if you watch the slide, if you look at the slide, it shows clearly what is an account. Don't show a surprise saying that, sir, I don't know that it is not without borders and all. No, you have to know, you have to recollect that your account is there, which is in T shape. Okay, and it has got the debit side, the credit side. Okay, and it has got date, particulars, journal folio, journal folio number, account, amount rupees, all these things. You know this. Okay, so to simplify it, to make those people who have forgotten about this in their first year, I'm just trying to recap this because this is very important. This is where your total understanding has to come. That's the reason I'm going to stay here for some time. What is that? I need to know what is an account. Okay, and before I write into an account, that means you are posting, what I need to do, I need to record them. That means I have to write in a journal. In order to write in a journal, I need to know what are the principles of an account. Okay, in order to use the principles of an account, I need to know what is an account. So once I know what is an account, what is an account? Anyone? What is an account? Yesterday also I was talking about this. What is an account? It's a summary of transactions. Okay, so I need to know how I have to classify whatever the business transactions that are taking place in my business. So what are the different types of accounts? Okay, we have got three types of accounts. What are they? Quickly, someone answer this, like quickly in your chat box. What are the different types of accounts? We have got personal account, real account, and nominal account. So you're all good at it, right? Can anyone say what is personal account related to? Anyone? Personal account is related to? So this particular account is related to transactions which involves individuals, banks, companies, and other financial institutions, right? Because if you are saying, sir, how company is related in personal account, we know very clearly that a company is an artificial person. So for legal provisions, government thinks that a company is an individual, artificial person. Okay, so that is how we have to understand. Am I clear? I am talking about an account, and I'm talking about the three different types of accounts. One is personal account. Why I'm talking about all these three? Again, I have to talk about the principles related to this account, right? So we have got personal account. What is personal account related to? It is related to individuals, banks, financial institutions, companies. Okay. Okay. Now we are clear with personal account. Next comes our real account. Whatever the things we are talking about yesterday, saying fixed assets, goodwill, intangible, furniture, all these properties, okay, buildings, everything, all these which are owned by the business with an intent of not selling them. You want to retain them in business for business purpose. All these things all come under your real account. Okay. Not only these, what else will come under your real account? Your cash also comes into your real account. Your stock, that means your current assets also, some of the current assets, your current assets also will come into your real account. Okay. So you have to be very clear about these things. Now, can anyone say what is nominal account related to? It is very simple. Type the answer very quickly. Okay, it's very simple. Okay. Yes, nominal account is related to your expenses, losses, income, and gains. Okay. So now I know, like now you must have understood clearly what are the three types of accounts which we have studied in first year. Why are we trying to recollect about it? Okay, here is the reason. Now, when we talk about depreciation, we have to prepare an account. Okay, do you remember, like when you are preparing your ledger accounts, when you are studying your ledger in your first year, what is a ledger? Ledger is a book in which you record your accounts. It contains accounts, right? It's not journal. Journal is the book in which you record the transactions. After recording the transactions in an entry form, which we call it as journalizing, what you are doing? You are posting them into ledger. Okay, in what form? In an account form. Okay, and why do I have to prepare an account? Can anyone tell? In first year we have learned about this. Yes, anyone? Yes, because we want to know what is the balance available in that particular account. Am I clear? Now I'm giving a layman example. Okay, layman example. Now listen carefully. If you didn't understand why we are preparing account, just listen. Okay, I have 100 rupees cash in my business. I spent 20 rupees. So now I'm asking, how much cash do you have? Then immediately what's your answer? 80 rupees, right? How did you know about it? So in the beginning you had 100 rupees and you have spent 20 rupees on something. So now we are left with 80 rupees. That 80 rupees is the balance. How did you know about it? Because you have prepared an account. So higher level, we are preparing the summary of the transactions. So you will have accounts for each of those things. Say for example, machinery, one account. Okay, Ramu, one account. Like that, you will be preparing accounts based on the transactions which your business has done. Okay, am I clear? Clear, right? We'll move on. Before I move on, I'll just remind the principles. I already talked about the different types of accounts. Now let us recollect what are the principles which we have studied. Okay, so the principles which you have studied about these accounts. What does personal account say? What is the principle of personal account? Yes. Can anyone answer? Yes. It is debit the receiver and credit the giver. Okay, clear. This is very simple. Everyone will remember this. Next, what is the principle of real account? Debit what comes in and credit what goes out. When you say what comes in and what goes out, you should not think personally. You should think from business perspective only. So whatever the items that are coming into your business and what are the items that are going out of the business. If something is coming into your business, you will say like you are going to debit that. Okay. So real account principle says debit what comes into your business and credit what goes out of business. That is the principle. You know why we are learning about principles, right? If you want to prepare an account, you need to remember that. So if I'm purchasing a machinery, okay, some people think that it is a nominal account and all those things. So we are not going into that, but we consider machinery, furniture, properties, goods, everything as real account, right? So if I'm purchasing a machinery, what is happening to the machinery? It is coming into business. Okay, machine is coming into business, right? And what is going out? Your cash. Okay, so cash is going out and machinery is coming in. So what will be the journal entry? Journal entry will be your. Now these days you have to remember that you cannot deal transactions purely with cash. Everything should be through a check. You have to give your bank account, right? So instead of using the word cash, we'll be using the word bank. Okay. So machine, when it is coming into your business, which falls part of your real account, you have to debit it. So how you will be writing a journal entry for that? Machinery account data to what is going out of the business, cash, to bank account. Okay. So if you want, like I can make it more clear. Who is paying on your behalf? Bank is paying on your behalf. So bank come under which account? It comes under personal account. What does the personal account principle say? Debit the receiver, credit the giver. So what is giving money? Who is giving money now? Bank is giving money. Bank, we have a bank account. Don't think that they are giving just like that. It is our money which is there in the bank. So bank is giving the money. For that reason, machine account data to bank account we are writing. Okay, this is how we have to think about real account. Why I stopped here and why I am focusing is when you're asked to make depreciation account, you have to think all these things very clearly. And the third account which I talked about is nominal account. So nominal account, it always says debit all expenses and losses and credit all incomes and gains. Okay, so very active participation, very good. We move on. Okay. Okay. Now the problem solving part and how we are going to do it in our accounting process. Okay, how we are going to account for this. The question will be very clear. The points which you have to remember here is what is the cost of the machine. Okay, what is the rate of depreciation, what is the method of depreciation. Okay, and when it is installed or when it is into business. Okay, and are there any installation expenses, are there additional machinery. Okay, all these type of points you have to observe when you are doing the problem. Okay, am I clear? Okay, so if you go through the question here, Ramu and Co purchased a machine for rupees 5 lakhs on 1st April 2016. Do you guys know which year we follow in our country? Which year we follow for tax purpose, for accounting purpose, for preparing financial statement purpose? Which year do we follow? Like from when to when? Okay, so we'll be following from April 1st to March 31st. Yesterday, when I was talking about a calendar year, I told you it is from January 1st to December 31st. But for accounting purposes and other legal requirements, we need to follow the year April 1st to March 31st. It can be any year, right? April 1st to March 31st. That is the duration which you have to follow. Okay. So that you have to keep in mind and you have to observe. Why? To know when my machine has been purchased, whether it is there throughout the period or not. That means whether it is there for all throughout the year or not. Okay, when is my closing date? To answer all these things, you need to know it. Okay, estimated life is 10 years. So we know the life of the machine to be 10 years. Okay, rate of depreciation is 10% per annum. PM is per annum. Okay, so he is saying that the depreciation which you have to charge on the machine is 10% per annum. Okay, now let us see what is the question. Assuming that the accounts are closed every year at the end of financial year. Just now I told you what is a financial year. Financial year, tax year, accounting year, any year, it will be from April 1st to March 31st. So he is asking us to prepare, assuming that the accounts are closed in the financial year. So what is asking us to prepare? He is asking us to prepare machine account for 2 years. Okay. So we have to prepare our accounts for just 2 years. I'm just taking a basic problem for you guys to understand. Okay. And what is the method of depreciation? He is giving us two situations. One is straight line method and the diminishing balance method. Okay, clear? So we will see how we are going to prepare this machine account. Okay. Now carefully follow what I am saying. Okay. Straight line method. Points to remember. What is given in the question? 5 lakh rupees is the cost of the asset which you have purchased. Okay. And the depreciation is 10%. These are the main points which you have to remember. And when it is purchased on 1st April 2016. So we are clear about that, right? So when you are purchasing the machine, what is happening? Your machine is coming into your business, and what you are doing, you are paying for that. So when the machine is coming into your business, which falls under your real account, and the real account principle says what? Debit what comes in, credit what goes out. So machine is coming in, you have to debit machine account. Okay. So you know the account, right? We have the account here. Let us see. Follow my cursor here, because I cannot really draw on the board and do these things, because you know it's a big problem which we have to do that. Okay. So follow the cursor which I'm moving. So we have machine account here. That is the caption heading. So you have to write it in the center. And we know it is in T shape, and it has got two sides, right? Debit side and the credit side. Don't ask me what is DR. It's all basic, and we have learned about it in the first year. Okay, DR, we are going to debit the things. Debit side, we represent it with DR. And you cannot ignore these things, because it is an account. You have to write the debit side and the credit side, DR, CR, very clearly. Okay. And what does your account constitute? What are the information that you have to provide in this account? You have got date, particulars, journal folio, amount. Okay, these things you have got it on both the debit side and also the credit side. Date, we all know what is the date. The date on which your machine is purchased, on the date on which you are providing the depreciation for that. Like that, you will be writing all the information, right? So for that, you require date column. Next, particulars column. Particulars column, you already know what it does in an account. You will write all the information related to the transactions. Okay. And then we have got JF number, journal folio number. Do you remember what it is? Can anyone tell me very quickly what JF number is related to? Okay. Journal folio number is the page number on which you will find the related journal entry of this transaction. Okay. Say for example, here it is bank, right? Bank account, we are debiting it. So the information related to that you will be finding in your journal. Okay. Okay. And amount, whatever the amount is. Now coming back to the purchase of the asset, what is happening to the machine? It is coming into business and you are paying it. Okay. So now he is asking us to prepare machine account, and he has given us the method. What is that method he has given us? Straight line method. Two situations he has given, straight line method and diminishing balance method. For how many years we have to prepare? 2 years. So immediately what you have to remember is, when I'm purchasing a machine, what is that I should do? How should I write it in an account? So when I purchase a machinery, what's happening? I have to write the journal entry, machine account data to bank account. Okay. You all remember, do you remember that on the debit side, you will be starting in your account writing to, and on the credit side by. Those are the two standard words which you have to be using when you are preparing an account. Am I clear about that? Okay. So machine account to data to bank account. Follow my cursor here. This is the machine account. Now we know the entry. What is that? Machine account data to bank account. Why am I writing that entry? Because I purchased that machine on that particular day. Which day? On 1st April 2016. So how am I writing the entry? Machine account data to bank account. So writing entry in journal is over. Now what is that we are preparing? We are preparing a ledger account, right? Machine account. It's a ledger. Why am I preparing this machine account? Why am I preparing this machine account? Because I want to know what is the value of my machine after the depreciation is provided. That means ultimately I will balance what is the value of the machine, book value of the machine now. I purchased it 4 years back, or 5 years back, or 10 years back, what it is now. In this question, we will be seeing only for 2 years, okay, for our understanding. So machine account, see the cursor where I am keeping it. and you have to write it on the debit side, machine account to data. That means you have to debit your machine account. Okay. 2, the other part of your journal entry. What is the other part of your journal entry? Bank. Okay, to bank account. If someone is writing to cash account, even then it is correct. Why? Because earlier they were allowing us to use cash. Okay, but now they say that if it is more than some amount like 20,000 or whatever it is, it should be through bank only. Okay, certain provisions are there related. So business people have to follow those rules and all. So machine account data to bank account. Over. On which day? On 1/4/2016. You can go through. If you don't remember the question, you can just remember, like, try to recollect what I told you. I'm repeating it quite often, right? And when the account is closed at the end of the every financial year, and what is the rate of depreciation? 10%, right? So what will be the end of the financial year if the financial year is starting on 1st April 2016? So 1 year completely. What it would be? 31/3/2017. 31st March 2017. That will be the end of the financial year. Okay. And we have to show the depreciation. And why I am crediting depreciation, I'll be explaining it now, and you have to catch up with it. Okay. Now see, assets, losses, okay, expenditure, all these things show a debit balance. Okay. Capital, liabilities, all these show loans, all these show your credit balance. Okay. Now I told you when I'm purchasing the asset, because assets always show debit balance. When I'm purchasing the asset, I'm showing it on the debit side. That means I'm showing in like whatever the asset I have purchased. Okay. Now I have to decrease it. That means I have to expense for my asset. How am I expending it from my asset? By providing the depreciation. Okay, that means I'm bringing down my asset value. How am I doing it? By providing a depreciation. Now I'm trying to make things very clear. See, 10,000 rupees mobile I purchased. Okay, after 1 year it is 9,000. How did you get it? Because 1,000 depreciation I'm providing. In accounting, in our accounting subject, we have got only 2 things: debit, credit. Okay. Just now I told you all your assets, expenses, losses will show debit balance, right? So for that reason, your machine has got debit balance. How much is that? 5 lakhs. Now we want to reduce it. So if you want to reduce your machine, what you have to do? The opposite side. What is that? Credit. What you are crediting? Machine, right? So with what you are debiting? You are debiting it with depreciation. So the entry will be depreciation account to data to machine account. Am I clear? My asset always shows debit balance. In order to reduce it with the depreciation, I have to credit it. Okay. As I told you, in accounting only 2 things are debit and credit. Okay. So in order to reduce my asset, what am I doing? I'm crediting it. And we know that we follow the double entry system of bookkeeping. So what is that we are debiting? We are debiting depreciation. So the journal entry would be depreciation account to data to machine account. To machine account. That means what is that I'm saying? I'm saying that my machine account has to be credited, because we know the word that to is used for crediting purpose. Here is the machine account and here is the credit side. Okay. So what is that you are doing? You are crediting it. With what? With the depreciation. Did you get it? If you have any questions, let me know. It's very easy. Very, very easy. So at the end of the year, by depreciation, I'm writing, okay, how much is the depreciation? 50,000. How did you get it? Because the cost of the asset is 5 lakhs and you are providing 10% depreciation. So you have to do the working, 5 lakhs into 10 by 100. You can do just below this also. You can write here also. What can you write? You can write 5 lakhs into 10 by 100. What is the 10 by 100? It is the percentage which is given in the question. Don't think where you got it from. Okay. So it is the percentage. So 10% depreciation under which method? Straight line method. So once you know the depreciation in straight line method, that's it. You are free now. Why? Every year that will be the same depreciation which you will have. Now see what I am doing. You know the balancing of an account, right? In first year you have learned about it. So balancing of the account. My asset which I purchased, the machine which I have purchased is 5 lakhs. I have provided, see the cursors, follow the cursor where I'm taking it to. I have provided depreciation of 50,000. So from 5 lakhs, we know how to put the balance, right? So out of 5 lakhs, if I'm deducting 50,000 as my depreciation, now what would be the book value of my machine, the balance of my machine? It will be 4 lakhs 50,000. Did you see that? Okay. So what you have to write is, you have to write on the same day, 31st March 2017, by balance carried on. What is the remaining balance of your machine? It is 4 lakhs 50,000. Okay. So to balance brought down, it is 4 lakhs 50,000 here. And you know where to put the lines and all. Okay. When you're balancing it. So I'm showing it in a different shade. Don't say that, sir, you didn't put the lines for the total and all. Okay, you know it and I know it, so we are very clear about that. Let's not focus on that. Okay, so the balance the next year, that means on 1st April 2017, the balance which I have as far as the machine is concerned is 4 lakhs 50,000. Am I clear about that? And next year, 2 years he asked us to prepare the accounts. So for 1/4/2017 is the starting date, now the second year. So ending date will be 31/3/2018. Okay. And you are providing depreciation. How much is the amount? 50,000. Why am I having depreciation the same amount? Because every year the depreciation would be the same as far as straight line method is concerned. So from 4 lakhs 50,000, what is that I'm doing? I'm deducting 50,000. So what is the value of the asset that is left over, or what is the book value of the asset that is left over? It is 4 lakhs. So in the third year, if someone is asking, hey, what is your book value of your machine? Then the starting book value would be 4 lakhs. Why? Because though you purchased it for 5 lakhs, 2 years, each year, 50,000, 50,000, you have provided depreciation. So now what is the book value of your machine? It is 4 lakhs. This is how you have to prepare a machine account as far as your accounting is concerned. Hope that I'm very clear. If you have any questions, you can ask me. Now we'll proceed to diminishing balance method. Okay, just remember this. And you know, you have subscribed already for our YouTube channel for Model Schools. Okay, so in that this presentation will be there. You can click through also to understand what's happening over here. Okay, and tell your friends also to join. Make sure that everyone is present. Okay, and you are understanding this. We'll go on to the next method. Diminishing balance method. Earlier slide, if you look at, I have got depreciation 50,000 here, but second year, if you look at, it is 45,000. Okay, so that is where the difference between diminishing balance method and straight line method comes. Okay, now we have to understand what is that. Follow my cursor carefully. I have purchased a machine for 5 lakhs, and what is the rate of depreciation? It is 10%. So I'm very clear. First year it would be 50,000. Okay, so what is the balance left now? 4 lakhs 50,000. So the second year opening balance of my machine, that is the book value, is 4 lakhs 50,000. In diminishing balance method, what did I say? We have to calculate depreciation on the balance of the machine in the subsequent years. So the balance of the machine now in the second year is 4 lakhs 50,000, right? Okay, now I have to calculate again 10% on 4 lakhs 50,000. Did you get it? So 10%, it will be 45,000. Okay. So now what is the balance that is left over? I have to balance this. Out of 4,50,000, if I'm deducting 45,000, the balance, now the book value of the machine would be 4,05,000. That will be the opening balance, okay, in my third year. So suppose if you are trying to calculate depreciation for third year also, then what would be the depreciation? Can anyone type the answer for me? Third year, diminishing balance method. Okay, I want to know what is the depreciation. Let me know. Rate of depreciation is 10%. Okay, good. Some people have answered it. Very good. Okay, let us see the working so as to make things clear once again. Okay, cost of the machine is 5 lakhs. Rate of depreciation is 10%. Okay, this is how you can write your depreciation notes also. And I told you very clearly that you can write directly here. Where? Here. Follow the cursor. After depreciation, you can simply type 5 lakhs into 10 by, I mean, you will write the exam, right? You will be writing in your notebooks. So you can simply write 5, see the cursor where I'm placing it. You can simply write over there 5 lakhs into 10 by 100, that is equal to 50,000. And you can put the answer here. And in the second year, you can simply write 4,50,000 into 10 by 100, that is equal to 45,000. You can put it directly. Or if you want to, your writing or your presentation to be very nice, because you can write like this also, like working notes you can put, okay, and you can say the cost of the machine is 5 lakhs, rate of depreciation is 10%, follow the cursor very carefully, okay, depreciation is how for the first year is how much? 5 lakhs into 10 by 100, that is equal to 50,000. Second year, now my machine cost is how much? The balance, I cannot say cost because I'm not purchasing it. What is the balance book value? It is 4,50,000. How did I get the 4 lakh? How did I get 4,50,000? It is 5 lakhs, your original cost of the machine. And from that we are deducting 50,000, which we have provided in first year. 50,000 we have provided in first year, right? So that is what we are deducting. So how in second year, how much amount we are left with? Like what is the book value of the machine? It is 4,50,000. And if I want to know what is the depreciation at the end of second year, what I have to do? I have to again calculate. What is the rate? Rate is 10%. So 10 by 100. Okay, you will get 45,000. So this 45,000, what am I doing? In the second year, I'll be deducting from 4,50,000. And what is in the third year opening, like starting, what will be the balance? It will be 4,05,000. That the machine which I purchased for 5 lakhs, after 2 years, it is 4,05,000 only. That is how we have to understand. Am I clear? Just go through this once again. Accounting part, this preparing an account, we are already familiar, and I have told you how to show it. Okay, we are balancing it, and you have to write by balance carry down. So whatever the balance that is there, your balance, you are carrying it forward, and on the debit side we write it saying starting with 2. You have to compulsorily do that. 2 balance brought down, and what is the balance? It is nothing but 4,50,000. That's how we are writing, right? These things you know very clearly. And don't forget to write, even though question is asking only for 2 years, to don't forget to write the balance after the third year also, in the third year also, after the second year, in the third year also. Okay, this is how we have to end a problem. But if that person is saying if the asset is completely sold off, then this point won't come. What is that point? The third year, this point won't come. So you have to keep these things in your mind. Okay, now I'm asking you questions. Which method do you think is easy? Which method do you think is easy? Yeah, someone is answering it. Obviously it is straight line method. Okay, so method of calculations, when we take, it is the straight line method that is easy. Diminishing balance method is a little tricky. Okay, we know that. And this is not what I'm asking for just for the sake of asking. You need to understand, he will ask us the differences between straight line method and diminishing balance method. Then you should be in a position to answer it. Okay. Okay. Can anyone tell what are the other differences between straight line method and diminishing balance method? Yes. In straight line method, okay, your depreciation will be constant throughout the life of the asset unless and until it is placed or sold in between. Okay. So that we know very clear. Now coming to diminishing balance method, every year you have to calculate the depreciation throughout the life of the asset. Okay. And here is a question you need to answer it. I'm not going to give the answer, but you have to answer it. Okay. Tell me in which method of depreciation the whole asset will become zero after providing depreciation. In which method? That means I'm asking in straight line method or diminishing balance method, the asset value after providing this depreciation will become zero. Like if you take a life of the asset, so after certain life, the asset value, book value may become zero. In which method? And in which method it may not become zero. Okay, I'm very clear about that. So I'm giving the next difference between these two methods. Okay, and are you all clear about this? Are you all clear about this? If you have any questions, you can ask. Now I know I gave you very clearly what is the difference between straight line method, diminishing balance method, how we have to do it and all. Okay, so you have to work on these problems. Don't say that we are like this session is over and we are not able to do and all. Now I gave you a very clear idea. If you have textbooks, just start doing problems. And I have typed 2 problems from our textbooks. Okay, so you can go through this. Like here, what is that he is giving is a person as Raghava. He purchased a plant and machine. Okay, on 1st April 2009 for rupees 23,000 and paid rupees 2,000 installation. This is where we need to focus. What is that I told you points to remember when we are doing our problem solving as far as depreciation is concerned. This 23,000 is the actual cost which is increased, but still he is paying 2,000 for installation. That means erection. Sometimes he will say erection. Okay, that means you are fixing that machine. Okay, so what is the total cost that you have to take as the book value or original or the total cost of the machine? You should not take 23,000 only and start calculating depreciation. No, you have to take 23,000 plus 2,000, 25,000. Okay, then you have to calculate your depreciation on that. Say for example here depreciation is to be allowed at 10%. Okay, so this 10% would be on 25,000, not on 23,000. So my depreciation would be 2,500 and first year 2,500. I'm very cool about that. Why? Because it is there right from 1st April to March 31st. So I'm very fine. 1 year I have to provide depreciation. Very fine, nice. Okay, and on 31st to March 2012, this is the time when he sold it. Sold it in the sense he completely disposed of it for how much amount? 8,000 rupees. That means your machine will not be there on 1st April 2012. 31st March 2012 we are selling it. So on 1st April 2012 you won't have it again. It's over because you have sold it. These are the points which you have to remember. Okay, and quickly see all these things are like usual. And how you have to write when you are when you are incurring installation expenses, you have to write that to bank. Okay, and you can mention the description as installation expenses if you want to. That is fine, and you can just show it like this. So 25,000, 25,000. I'm balancing. My depreciation is 2,500, and you all know it. Okay. The point where you have to focus is 8,000 T. Okay, when you are selling off the machine, what is happening? Your machine is going out of business, right? What is coming in? Cash. That means he's paying it through your bank. So bank account comes under personal account. Personal account principle says debit what comes in, debit the receiver. So bank account you have to debit, and what is going out? Machine is going out. So machine comes under real account, credit what goes out. Bank account data to machine account. Okay, so you have got this amount. Okay, So similarly, you can solve your diminishing balance method also. One point that you may be wondering, sir, you are talking about all the percentages, 10% calculation, this thing, that thing. We may find it difficult to solve it and all. Here is a shortcut method I'm telling you very clearly, okay? Just follow this, what I'm saying. Shortcut method to understand how I have to calculate depreciation for straight line methodology, okay? So 5 lakhs, I have to calculate depreciation 10%. 10% means 1 by 10. That means I can remove 1 0 here. Don't do it in the account. I'm telling you how to calculate depreciation, okay? So if I remove a 0, how much it would be? 50,000. Sir, what if he gives 20%? Remove 1 0 and multiply it with 2. You will get it 1 lakh. So this shortcut also you can follow if you are finding it difficult to calculate what is depreciation. Because preparing an account is more important than any other thing. Am I clear? You can solve the other problems. This is how we have to do, okay? Both your straight line method and diminishing balance method, okay? Did we meet our learning objectives? That means, did we understand what we talked about? Okay, we understood what is the meaning and definition. We understood what is the need and significance, causes of depreciation, methods of depreciation, and we know how to deal with them. These two methods as far as problem solving is concerned, and we have done the problems, right? Try at home, sincerely try, watch the video if you miss something, okay? And definitely you will understand it. Try doing the other problems also. Don't say that, sir, tell me more problems, do it on the blackboard and all. This is very simple and you can do it. And it is for 5 marks, compulsory question, like not compulsory, not like our 20 marks problem, but it will come. The chances of it coming in the question paper is like 99%, okay? 5 marks question. And it is very easy. Once you start practicing it, putting it on the notebook, you can easily start working on it. Okay? Any questions? No questions? So you all understood it, right? If you have anything, let me know. Okay? Stay home, stay safe, continue learning. Okay? With whatever the resources we had, we are doing this. And as far as depreciation is concerned, I'm ending the session and we are done with it. You have to try the problem. You have to practice them. It won't come out of thin air. Okay? Am I clear? Okay, thank you all.
Thank you, Venkatramarao garu.
Thank you, sir.
Hello.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
Oh, thank you, Venkatramarao garu. He has beautifully explained about the depreciation. Today he covered various topics: straight line method, diminishing balance method, and with the help of some problems, he tried to explain the things. And I was following the chat box. Students are receiving it very well. So, as you have told them, they should stay home and they should continue the learning and the commerce as well as other subjects also.
Yes, sir.
All the students, please remember that depreciation is part of the life also, not only in the business. Our value gets depreciated as we progress in the life. By learning new skills, by acquiring new skills, we can compensate that. We can get appreciation from the society. We can get appreciation from the parents by achieving certain goals in our life. That appreciation will add some value to our life. So the antonym of the depreciation is the appreciation. I hope you all follow through the lessons of the sir and you get excel in your life and you get some appreciation, and by that you get appreciation to your life also. Sir, thank you very much. We hope we will have a few more sessions from you in future, and we are very thankful to you on behalf of the webinar team. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
All the participants, please stay back with us. Within 2 to 3 minutes, we will start a session on zoology and digestive glands. Please stay with us.